funny because I'm saying hi and everyone else is saying bye. So hi everyone. I've really enjoyed it so far. I've enjoyed like the pace, and there's something about going on at the end and you're going over it in your head, you know what I mean? You're waiting for, you're enjoying it and you're there. So it's nice to get this little bit out of the way so I can kind of get on with the rest of my experience with Bath. Whilst, you know what I mean, really enjoying it up here. What I want to do is start by explaining to you where I'm from. So it kind of links in with the introduction. And it's called Penryn. Has anyone been to Cornwall? Has anyone spent much time in Cornwall?
Yeah.
Yay, cool. Okay. So there's a student, there's a Falmouth Uni is right up the road from me. So just listen to the line for Asda's trolleys. Okay. I'm from the little old town of Penryn, where seagulls pick at dustbins and every bumpkin's rusting in salt and sea air in a time which sits out there, yeah. I'm from the little old town of Penryn, where seagulls pick at dustbins and every bumpkin's rusting in salt and sea air in a time which sits out there, yeah. Social media hits a fantasy of glitz up the line, the big cities in which everyone gives it that it's happening everywhere all the time, whilst gridlocked in lines, giving away their time in real time. I see overstimulated minds caught between reshaping and define. Little fish or big fish, choose your line. Mine's a big fish with a small line. I find rhymes and patterns in unreached mountains. Pipe dreams, river streams, the genie's lantern. Chasing gigs, dig at the dump, throat with a lump. Writing workshops, festivals, my gigs are amounting. Has it happened yet? I reflect that snowball effect is subject to the bouncing. I'll admit I dip in and out, the writer's block's never been about. My writing's uncontrollable, it keeps me sane. It's my way of connecting to others, give a voice, and all of mine a name. Nothing needs to change, I found my place where I freely roam. My home's as the trolleys are given new homes as students comb the quiet streets, spending student loans. I feel myself, yes, like feel it in my bones, in these small streets, like my smelling bed sheets. Life's incomplete when we think of uncertainty. Finally I see why I stayed by the sea. Yes, it's me, this far out place. Recognisable faces can be hard, but so are hard faces and overpopulated spaces, whilst at the same time wishing for a few more races and a few more gay-friendly spaces. Again, the downsides, but there's always sides, marginalised, fenced in. I meant there's always been ways of being, ways of seeing. We find it hard to understand our belief system, the need to settle in, find a place in. I found mine within this little old town of Penryn. It's the journey home that reminds me of the joy of where I'm living. Living through art, keeping the spark close to my heart, reminds me I'm only ever a train journey apart. Yet, I'm from the little old town of Penryn, where seagulls pick at dustbins and every bumpkin's rusting in salt and sea air in a time which can never stay out there. Yeah. Thank you. Right, so the next two I'm going to do, I'm just going to do these two back to back, is about working with young people. Are you guys happy with like a 20-minute-ish set, something like that, yeah? Cool. If you get bored, sometimes when I'm on stage, and I'm not discrediting right at the beginning because that's really shit, because I've only just done one poem, but there's nothing worse than, it sometimes feels like you're leaving this massive voicemail on stage to yourself. I don't feel like this at the moment, but I'm just conscious of your ears and respecting them all the time, because it's very kind that you've given them me for a bit. So I'm not a page poet, so I do it for the performance element, so this is my thing. Okay, so this is about, I wrote this whilst I was at uni years and years ago before I even got into working with kids. Okay. The cool kid, but it's more complex, trying to rid a certain context. Hair straight, gelled and older face, lectures expelled with no trace. No one notices if she's home to inform social services at school on the throne. On a track, craving attention, won't take tips, taught no lessons. Apart from Jalen taking risks, now becoming faded in the mist. Between kid and adult, seen as a mum, it's not her fault who she's become. Twisted, isn't it, when you closely examine all the shit you can only imagine. Woken up with no support, that's why being cool is what she's taught, a queen at school. No home time, no food in the fridge. Mum's next line, she's drinking under the bridge. The sky screams nature has a purpose. Life only seems short, kicks and worthless. She whacks on her makeup, covering her eyes. Witness and breakups as conscious despise. Holds a fag between her fingers, labelled a slag. The smell her name lingers. No, only 16, almost a lady, now has been subjected to a baby. Obviously not planned and hand in hand with an older man. She's 16 and he's mixing, trying to find even an inkling of what she left behind. So please don't judge the small child, the makeup smudge is more wild. Kicking up aggression, still wanting more. Leaves a bad impression, new keys to the door. Claiming all benefits, the child's fucked and saddened in bits. He doesn't even exist, too drunk to remember. Now the child's going bits, it's due in November. So we revisit an unwanted child, a heart and bits, a mother wild. Not even 20, broken and trapped, any drugs plenty, a mind tapped. So look closely at this baby, a mother's ghost, still child and lady. The child's puss, the mum judge, the world looks, we see love, a natural instinct, almost a shadow. Life's justification by a burning arrow. Of lifeless emotion no one can say, not constant devotion, losing all sanity. 10 paces forward, 10 in reverse, so awkward as life inserts itself upon a child, a mum running wild. What kind of style, life can turn out vile. Second poem. See the pain pinned up in your face, see the difference that you make. See you listen and you wait, see what someone already takes. See the snake wrapped round your neck, see the tape draped round the deck, see the dead body you won't forget, see those eyes you've never met, see that lost soul you project, see your tossed body you forget, see a version of your person, see your deserving tried still earthing, see the unearthing and talking, see the disturbing paths you're walking, see your stories, see your lens, see your gory, see your trends, see your confidential, see your potential, see your benchmark and strong heart. See you embark on dark paths, see your path was never lit, see a candle born with no wick. See the covered mothered in pain, see the uncovered wearing their parents' shame. See you spinning where the veins, see you sinning as you claim, see you caught up in a web, see your self-taught head. See your dread and your tears, see your fears as I hear. See your life, see your day, see your kite. Please fly today. It's a nice place in here, isn't it? I like this. I like this. Well advertised. It's good. I'm taking all these ideas on, but what's behind it's good. I always wanted to have my own beer, and I got as far as getting the plastic container for the beer to go in, and then just leaving it there, and then it slowly goes green and you put shit in it. So I've never got round to brewing my own beer. But I think they've got all the equipment, so whatever, and people that want to buy it, so I'll just let them do it and drink it. So this was a BBC commission piece, and you get about 2 or 3 years work out of it. So that's why I say it was commissioned by the BBC. I was asked to write about Cornwall, and at first I thought shit, because I don't generally like to write about anything I'm asked to write about, especially just where you're from. Unfortunately, I hadn't come up with Penryn yet, because that would have suited. But anyway, I thought I'd write about the sea in the end, because I thought I can't do anything meaningful out of a pasty poem, even though some people could, but I'm just not a very funny poet. So it always has to be deep and meaningful, but there's a lot of metaphors with the sea. So this is called Ocean. Time stops over Falmouth docks, flickering first light, dancing blues and pure whites. No sunlight projection, no 3G, no B-she, is as free as black bat goes, hovering weightless above hulls. The water meets fresh paint slapping, the breeze feeds sheets withering, the metal sings. No car keys, no screen reads, no news feeds, no answer, no needs, no buffering, no sufferings, no nothings. The wind's answering the presence in words, letters, every essence, sit like sand particles, so small yet partable. Timeless in a line, world pools, dropping tide lines. Worlds pool, the odd message bottled in, watertight and floating. Absorbed in waves like sun rays in the Cornish shores of today. In the unknown of tomorrow, Mother Nature comes and goes, let it moan and comb, paves the way, spitting sea foam. Let my drones outlive your drones, apps and phones, keep your pictures. This Cornish scape's too wild, too beautiful to fixture. Let sea salt crystallise, tongue ties, untie your tie, unify. We have more in common than divides. One sky, one tide, forever changing lows and highs, traced long and before our times. In a time of such depth and fear, tears and uncertainty steered by the fear which we can never tame. Ocean and man, I fear, are one of the same. So I say, raise up your Cornish flagon. You can't rein in, so at times I choose to drink with a dragon. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Right, I'll get a bit political in it. And then talk about having more than one voice in your brain. Mental health, we're getting there, I think, as a society. It takes a long time, like most things, but we're getting there now, which is good, which is really good. So I'm going to do that, and then talk a bit about death, and then move on to why I feel a bit awkward being middle class, whilst fully embracing it and probably using it to my advantage. Right, there we are. Okay, so the first one's about Europe. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, I know. It's quite relevant, isn't it? Okay. So yeah, and actually, can I just say this? This is my only time when I connect with politics, for that brief moment where I feel like my words mean more than anything else on the planet, because there's fucking faces apparently think they do, sadly. But actually, yeah, apart from that, I really do just prefer to be ignorant. But I'm alright with that, because my partner updates me. Yeah, anyway. Okay. People, look at what we've done, boxed into a corner, politicians behind the gun. I don't fully understand, like the Queen's song, Mama, I just killed a man. No man who felt fear and filled in the gaps. Bad communication which first snowballed falls with this crap. Britain's hatched out of the ashes that we've already scattered across blooded fields. Don't lost lives matter. See, people, look at what we've done. Boxed into a corner, politicians behind the gun. I don't fully understand, like the Queen's song, Mama, I just killed a man. No man who felt fear and filled in the gaps. Bad communication which first snowballed falls with this crap. Britain's hatched out of the ashes that we've already scattered across blooded fields. Don't lost lives matter. Instead we batter each other and redig the trench, chuck in the refugee and rip up the fence. What's meant to be when we fuck our children's destiny? Rip off the Union Jack like a fresh bikini wax, max out our finances and clamp down our borders. We'll roar with saw, this new world's deformed us. On the plus we can jump higher up Americans' back, let the bully continue cruelty as politicians arguably hatch out some of the scariest leaders I've ever seen. Fuck politics and media blunderings. I say grab the bull by the horns before this deforms us. Share community petitions, sign petitions, rise out of the dust. Stand shoulder to shoulder like Stonehenge boulders. Countries depend on each other and our waters. A core of sandy shores worth more than what defines our borders. Thanks guys, thanks very much. I kind of cut that in half, that one, because otherwise it gets a bit heavy. And it does. That's alright. You can cut your TV in half if you want. Right, memory lane. Right, does anyone have more than one voice in their head at any one time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right, cool, good. That's good. If you don't, you're lying. And that's where mental health starts. We're all on spectrums, and it's like any fucking disability. It's where it impacts on your life to the point where you need to, I don't know, sort it out or whatever. Like addiction, there's always a justification either way. So anyway, this is my association, I suppose, with it. Can I borrow you down memory lane? Everything's different, wanna feel same. Oh brain, how I filled you, now it was you two I grew through. You pursued too much, no, it was far too out of touch. It's not must I asked of what last the task of. Was I speaking on behalf of the dark voices that blast off, but when my body stops, I'm the last off. First up, ticking clock won't stop. Controlling all body functions, it's not enough. I need some loving to stop pulling heartstrings and my function. You're not, you're my sanity, no, you gravitate from me. You're not making this easy, but it was you who wanted to breathe me. You seek me, don't seek me, try low. So, no, I'm dependent, you know so. But if it was a no-go, why listen? You're ignorant. My brain's a rag and tatters, stop pulling me backwards. Stuck you like the atlas, forever going round till it shatters. My brain's a rag and tatters, stop pulling me backwards. Stuck you like the atlas, forever going round till it shatters. I change, go far from stable, fable, hold to person true. Your products of environment too. Enough contradictions, self-inflictions that you're ignorant, can't concentrate and listen. You never can, it's indifferent. Oh, my eyes glazing and haze, know the excuses, the phrase. You've been in my head for days, you can keep going, I'm amazed. You talk with mockery, know you control, turn the off key. I try to, know you do, and drug me through. I can't listen to the chatter, you who ask me what's the matter. Well, I'm sick, push flatter. You can control those thoughts, know your voice of reason haunts. That's the choice you make, no, that's my voice you take. How can you hate me, I'm you, how can I take heaven off you? My brain's a rag and tatters, stop pulling me backwards. Stuck you like the atlas, forever going round till it shatters. My brain's a rag and tatters, stop pulling me backwards. Stuck you like the atlas, forever going round till it shatters. This is not getting easier. Well, you've got to believe you're not separate beings. Your body is your mind, some skin, the hinge, your mental trapped to move the ladder, don't need it. Your chalk and weight, you can escape, the OCD can be set free. It's not that easy. An internal plea screams from inside me. Don't tell me this again, I count to 10, that second voice fails to mention. I would if I could see I'm lost in the woods. Misunderstood, don't tell me what I should do. A screw loose is the same for most. Walk around daily with an eternal ghost. A voice that haunts you, judges and budges in. We shut them out, they appear again. I think back then, I think about when. Hold it for a minute, in the now, not then. But it's that it's back, that voice of reason and reflection. But other than that, why the rejection? Because you failed to answer every question. No, we are one. This is the only true lesson. Right, so I've got about 3 and a bit left. Is that all right? Are we doing all right for time? Energy levels. It's a nice little audience up Bath Way, isn't it? It's a bit like Cornwall. It's all posh and, you know, you get a few out and about, but we're not quite a city, are we? Well, we are a city, so excuse my ignorance. Falmouth isn't, Cornwall's got one in Truro, but it's nice and small, but I like that. You get people that really care about it that are here. So that's nice. So we can have one about death now. That's all right. Cool. I think that we can talk about it. I think, sadly, sometimes we think it needs to be a lived experience, and in my case it was. But I would say just talk about it with people, because it's all right to talk about it and ask people if they're all right. I think we worry because it's not a direct experience, and I think if we're going to ask them, we're going to make it worse and maybe re-trigger them or trauma them or whatever. But the reality is we're all going to die. And it's sad and horrible, but I think if someone around you is suffering or has had whatever, don't use the word bereavement if you can help it, and just ask if they're alright. Anyway, lecture over. As my partner always says, just do the fucking poem, don't introduce it, that's the worst part. But anyway, this is called Dad. So now you know who died, but the rest of the poem does the middle bit. Okay. Dad, the one who brung and begun me, I swung off every word he nurtured me. Walked and crawled, played ball as I grew up, he stood tall. The fool of wisdoms and words, cause if he didn't know and look, he took the dictionary down for me. At every point he grounded me selflessly. His body language was always real, if uncomfortable he showed me that's no big deal. Could tell him any thoughts and feelings, always okay, able to say. Relationships to anything, no sense is now gone, I know what he'd be saying. Spider, keep your head up, the sorrow will drown you. Life's not forever, I'm just happy I found you. So Dad, and I have to make up a new wish list. I had my wish for 4 years, so I guess this. Life is as temporary as you always told me. I never imagined a life now as empty. You gave me plenty, never enough, still I'll remain tough. See you taught me more than life itself. You taught me how to be myself. You taught me more than life itself. You taught me how to be yourself. You're a true legend, thanks for being my friends, and I appreciate the brush of your paintings. But before I found them hard to relate, and it's an art form like this, I just wish I could sit with you again and give you a kiss. Sit in silence past the time of day. Catch you unexpected in the garden, say, "Cup of tea, note, stay where you are." Talk to you about my latest cheap car. Hear your most recent sailing tactics, tell you about my surf or latest performances. You always used to leave my bedroom door ajar, tuck me in, then when I grew up, let me walk out far. You are so special and cannot be forgotten, just miss you physically, want to update you with what's on, so I'll just close my eyes and see you. I'm temporarily froze, you gave me a preview. See you in so many old, new memories. Thankful back then you knew what you meant to me. See, Dad, you taught me more than life itself. You taught me how to be myself. You taught me more than life itself. You taught me how to be myself. From life to death, you were my safety net. Now life's jumped you, wait, I'm not done yet. Regret is a word which is so absurd, and will deflect regret and make my own proverbs. You're the wax in every sandal. You're every grain of sand in my sandals. I miss you in every breath, you are me. There is so much left without you to see. I want to be next to you, I miss you deeply. It's not easy, the more time without scares me. I don't want any of my memories to fail, so empty. Make remember, Dad's the wind in the sails when it's breezy. You are my November. You are my friend forever. I can't pretend the days will ever be the same. You're 1 in a billion, thanks a million, and you've been irreplaceable. Rest assured our cope before wasn't imaginable. I just hope where you are does you justice. You're in our hearts and minds amongst us. So long life, will follow your tracks. Just hope when I go I get you back. See you taught me more than life itself. You taught me how to be myself. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm down to the final 3. Everyone all right? Yeah, cool. It's heavy. So thank you very much. The next one, these books, by the way, are like, they can range anything from as much as 10 down to about 5 or maybe 4, because it was 4 to get in. And they're like self stuff. I've had bits published, but I put all this together, which is sort of my latest stuff over the last few years. So come and see me after if you want to chat or get a book, or you can just look me up online, MCMC Spoken, and there's lots of stuff and videos, and that's the shitty promo stuff out of the way, apart from I haven't done a website this year. Yeah, so that's that. Inflatable hot tub crew. This is about being... I didn't get one actually. Do you remember it snowed last year about this time? Yeah, so I was going to get one.
You will do in a week.
No.
Every time I do a show in February, it always snows on the last day of the show. So come the 6th or the 7th of February, it will snow. So
okay.
So be prepared.
Well, there we are. Well, seriously though, snow-wise, the reason we didn't get this bloody inflatable hot tub was because it snowed and it couldn't do about after -2 degrees. Then Mother got one anyway, which reaffirmed my class. Because it wasn't fucking inflatable, just saying. Oh. I know. What's it like? It's hard. It's hard wherever you are on this planet. It doesn't matter where you're from. We all have equal pressures in life. No, we don't. Different pressures, but they're all relative to our experience of them. Anyway, shut up. Inflatable hot tub crew. I'm part of the inflatable middle-aged hot tub crew. The cheesy oat cake, the conscientious vegan ethical debates, but I can't let these worlds be born on my shoulders, love trees, turn away from milk distilleries. So reach for soya, fuck the trees, you can't chase my footsteps when I walk in the sea. Voice like a foghorn, lost ears, listen to me, no longer chasing celebrities, because I know I'm amongst the falling leaves. If I was going to make it, then I'd have already become one. No longer young, this comforts me, see I can now do me. Not chased M&M's, dust, lust, I'm from the land of Kalmuk, so far away at different ends of a different scale, but that boat left silently, I tell myself, was plucking my last feathers out violently. And you know they now grow and grey sporadically, still at the stage where I pull them out manically. Ignore the you, pull, grow, back, lingo, because I fucked up that rule when I didn't let my leg hairs grow. And you know, we're all here for a very long time, yet with age you realise your spoon and egg race finish line was crossed way before you could draw out the dots, and most of my 20s were lost. So stop the clock is a very fitting death poetry line, yet most of my adult life I've been self-medically wasting my time. We grow, think we know, then try to stay present within lost communities, my locals pulling cartridges out of pheasants. False pretense of future events, your coat hangers and pyjamas come on daily, we see patterns drawn around us, weekly roasts and gravy. Creativity is diluted to a concentration of individual measures. I know my place on this earth was to ruffle feathers, get levered, seek pleasures and help others find theirs. We all have flaws, pulls, drawers, open, shut doors and played out nightmares. So yeah, I'm part of the inflatable middle-aged hot tub crew. You know who you are because you know of one too. You uncomfortably know you're floating whilst others are drowning. There've always been these divides, we'll spend our lives trying to understand them. When you get to about 30, I'd say every month I was being asked about the question of fucking grandchildren. And this was my poem. Okay, not that would be weird. Anyway. Okay. Right. Pregnancy. What's your take? How did it happen? What buns and ovens makes it breaks, it burns. We can't make with no sperm. But I know that I'm privileged because it's legal and have third-party options for dibs, but I still want our kid of our own, her eyes and nose, my flesh and toes. I know I try to let it go, waves and pangs, mirroring our monthly hormones, old moans. I have Googled and Googled my phone. Sperm probes and people trying to tell me it's a woman's beauty, but us that's mixed in cruelty. Third parties join the baby decision party. And my mum's voice cuts, wanting to be a granny, and when we hang with my friend's baby, she gives me eyes, wanting one from me. I'm empty, you can't get that from me, see? My love and I can't make three, we see perfect features and teachers in each other. We offer everything we have, but we can't make each other. We're not chemistry, but we're plenty. I'm pleading with biology, with guilt knowing it's wrong with me. Our family tree can't throw new seeds, so don't come at me with your latest baby testimony chronology. I see friends around me having babies. I love the sparkle in the eyes, and I know why. But for me, it's not as easy in the making, and I carry the weight of lost lives already here and in need of saving. And I know what I feel, and I know the connection. And it's not built in blood and skin, but it's built on rebuilding the bricks of rejection. So think carefully before you tell us that we have plenty of options and making. See, we have basked in contemplation, but I can't make my partner in my womb. So make room in your mind before you offer your wise words, because in truth we're the living flying dodos. I've considered and withered, I get it, you're offering advice, but don't give me that bullshit full-pitch labour scream, because I don't want it if it's not my love's making. And I'm untaping the mouths of us all. This message is written to be shared, offering to break down every wall. We don't have the same choice, I hope, in giving us a voice. We can rejoice in what love we feel and share. Words of advice, steel is my vice. There's plenty of ways of pulling up the family chair. And out there in today's terms, we have burnt away communities, so maybe not being able to conform will bring its unity. Fluently speaking, our future's looking for meaning. Stones are being overturned and pockets burned, so please don't offer me too much pity when you quickly tell us the latest way to try and make our baby. Thank you.